very direct manner. So getting back to the stories you asked me, one of the reasons I like the Worldwide Telescope story is it started as a pure science research story, not even computer science. It was about the stars, the galaxies, and one might even question why was that research going on in Microsoft Research, but it was going on anyway, and of course it had to do with big data in some sense, and so all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, but over time, the research technology, the research ideas, the ability to scale to the data that the Worldwide Telescope needed to handle, the ability for citizen scientists to actually contribute, all that technology could actually have a very important, interesting application in Excel through PowerMap. And now, through this a plugin, people can look at crime statistics in Chicago, and policymakers can make intelligent decisions based on the visualization that comes out of all this data packaged in a way that, again, from data to knowledge to decision, affects society. So this is my science, technology, society story. Another example along those lines is some work that's more recently being done on urban computing. So this is work, one example of this is work called U-Air that Yu Zhang, our new TR35 fellow from MSRA, has been promoting. And the idea is, again, taking lots of different data sources, whether it's weather, road conditions, the points of interest in a city, the human mobility patterns, and putting all these data streams together, along with the few sensors that, for instance, are in Beijing, putting all the sensor data together to figure out what is the air quality of not the city, but the street that I live on in this city. And so this is an example of multiple data streams coming together using machine learning and other data analytics algorithms to convey to the mere user, but also to policymakers, information that people can use to decide, well, should I take this route to work? Should I go to the park because maybe there's too much pollution out there and the air will be bad? Or for a policymaker to decide, maybe we should actually focus on this particular neighborhood to improve the air quality because of the readings that we have from all this data. So that urban computing example is, again, science, technology, and society kind of coming together. So that's another example. There are a lot of really fun things going on. There's, I can talk, I don't know, how many stories do you want? I could talk, for instance, I was just at Microsoft Research Asia a couple weeks ago, and they were showing me their newest work on hair modeling. So it turns out that if you try to model the human being, people have worked really hard on modeling the face down to the level of, the pores in the skin, but it's really, really hard to model hair. So if you look at a lot of the state of the art, you'll see these heads without hair because it's much easier to model the skin, the eyebrows, and so on. The eyes and so on, but you won't see the hair. So what these researchers have been doing is actually tackling that problem. And their most recent work is actually to add a little dynamic. So now you can see the hair like blowing in the wind. So there are like fun things that our researchers work on as well.
What's going to surprise us in the future?
if I told you, it wouldn't be a surprise.
Yeah, I don't want to be surprised.
I think one of the areas that I see a lot of research in right now, a lot of interest by the consumer, and where we're going is in what Microsoft likes to call natural user interfaces. I think that we have already been seeing our ability to get rid of the mouse and maybe the keyboard, at least the physical one. And I think with speech input, with gesture in terms of interacting with devices, we are going to more naturally interact with devices, with services, and then, of course, with each other.
Thank you so much for talking to us today, Jeannette.
Thank you.